This is the end of module assessment on questionnaires. Question number 1. Alison wants to find out how much time people spend reading books. She's going to use a questionnaire. Design a suitable question for Alison to use in her questionnaire. 2 marks available for this. We get 1 mark for a correct question. We get the 2nd mark for providing correct tick box responses. A question like, how long do you spend reading books? Is not enough here. There is no time frame referenced here. So the question, could it mean how long do we spend reading a week? How long do we spend reading a month? How long do we spend reading per night? Without specifying, you could get people answering in all sorts of different ways. So how long do you spend reading books per night? Would be appropriate for 1 mark. And then the tick box responses. Okay, you need at least 3, and you have to be very careful about how you label these. Make sure you include a time unit. I'm going to go 0 to 59 minutes, 60 to 119 minutes, 100 to 179 minutes, and 180 minutes or more. You have to be very careful to ensure that every possible answer is catered for. So no matter what response somebody gives you, there's a box you can tick. Okay. Question number 2. Mason is doing a survey to find out how many magazines people buy. He uses this question on his questionnaire. How many magazines do you buy? And then we've got 3 tick box responses. Write down 2 things wrong with this question. Well, as we mentioned before, how many magazines do you buy? There's no time frame. He hasn't said how many magazines do we buy per week or how many do we buy per month. So number 1, no time frame. If you look closely at the tick boxes, you should see the other thing that's wrong. The first tick box is 0 to 4. The next tick box is 4 to 8. The final one is 8 to 12. Let's say I want to answer 4. Well, which box would I tick? This one is 0 to 4, this one is 4 to 8. What we've got here is we've got overlapping tick boxes. Part B, write a better question for Mason to use on his questionnaire. Well, just rewrite a question similar to how we did in question number 1. How many magazines do you buy per week, or how many magazines do you buy per month? And then at least 3 tick boxes. Sort out that problem with the overlapping boxes, but make sure that every possible response is catered for. So on the end, you might add 13 or more. And then finally, part C. Mason asks his friends at school to do his questionnaire. This may not be a good sample to use. Give 1 reason why. Well, if he only asks his friends at school, then he's only going to be asking people a similar age to him. There's a good chance that he may only be asking boys as well. So you're not getting a wide enough range of people. There's not a different range of ages in there. The sample is too small. And because of that, it's likely to be biased. You need a larger sample, you need a bigger mix of people. Question number 3. Sam wants to find out the types of film people like best. He's going to ask whether they like comedy, action, or science fiction or musicals best. Design a suitable table for data collection. The suitable table in this case is a tally chart. We need 3 columns. The first one is type of film, and we list the different ones he's asking about. So comedy, action, science fiction, or musicals. The next column is where he can tally his responses when he asks people, and the final column is frequency. Frequency is the column for counting up all your tally marks and putting a number at the end. Sam collects his data by asking 10 students in his class at school. This might not be a good way to find out the types of film people like best. Again, exactly the same as before. The sample size is too small. Too small a sample. Likely to give biased results. As I mentioned before, we need a spread of different age groups and different types of people.